We start with a shock defeat for Manchester United in their opening Champions League tie. They were beaten by Young Boys of Switzerland after an error from Jesse Lingard in stoppage time. After the game, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer defended his decision to take off Ronaldo and Bruno Fernandes in the second half and questioned the referee's decision not to award a penalty in the first half.
That's football for you at the highest level. Lack of concentration, make a mistake, and you get punished. You get done. It was never reckless or malicious, but probably a little bit inexperienced to go through there.
Did you think the red card was put when Cristiano was pushed, when he broke through?
Yeah. He shoves him with his arm, and it's a clear he's one-on-one with a keeper. He's in front of him, so but probably didn't dare do it because he had to send him off then, so it would have been difficult. So that's what sometimes you get with young refs.
So Ole Gunnar Solskjaer not happy then, but he's been criticised for taking off Ronaldo and Bruno Fernandes with 20 minutes to go. They were replaced by Lingard and Nemanja Matic, but Solskjaer has explained his thinking.
The game has gone 70-odd minutes. They've been running a lot, both Saturday and today. The AstroTurf, of course, takes its toll as well, and we wanted Nemanja's experience, keep hold of the ball, and Jesse's legs. You can never be surprised by the man. He scores another goal, and he's exceptional. But we have to look after him as well, and it felt like the right moment to take him off.
OK, thoughts there for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Let's get the thoughts of today's guests, shall we? Delighted to say Jobi McAnuff and Eddie Newton join us on the football show this morning. Very good morning to both of you two. Jobi, let's come to you first up. Late defeat for Manchester United. You don't want to lose any games, but how damaging was that defeat in the very opening game of the group stage?
Yeah, I think given Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's record with Man United in the Champions League, I think it asks further questions about certainly the tactical side of his management. They've come up short on too many occasions so far, especially again at this level where you have to get every decision absolutely spot on. I have a little bit of sympathy with him in the sense of why he made the decisions. It's an artificial pitch. You have to look after Ronaldo. I get that. I just felt that they lost that ability to release any pressure. You know, they sunk very, very deep, invited the pressure. If they'd got a result, then you say, well done, he's got it right. But they didn't. And of course, the nature of the goal, certainly the one that they conceded to lose the game, it was a mistake, an individual error. It's hard to legislate for that. But ultimately, you get judged on results, and the fact that they've lost the game, there's going to be questions asked, and in my opinion, rightly so this morning.
Yeah, so plenty of things, Eddie. It shows how many things a manager has to keep in their mind, don't you? And you don't become a bad manager overnight. You know, after the weekend, everything was wonderful. Manchester United were great, and then suddenly this happens, and he's got that wrong, and he's done this badly. So who would be a manager, Eddie?
Yeah, who? For me, I don't think Ole done much wrong, to be honest with you. I think he changed the formation to take the pressure off and defend deep and maybe go into a 5-3-1, which also gives you width going forward in transition. I understand he's thinking of bringing off the players Bruno off and Ronaldo off at that time. Obviously, he's taking a toll on their legs. He's thinking of the season. He's not thinking of just the game. He has to get these players through the season. So I understand his thinking. And he's put on some good players. You know, Matic, he's got a wealth of experience in there. And Lingard as well, good legs to try and do something on the counter. So it didn't work for him on the night. And it's unfortunate because you could see Man United started to build up some steam in the league and some momentum. So they've taken a little hit, but for them they have to get back on the horse as soon as possible to hopefully start again.
Jobi, as a coach and as a manager, you obviously prepare for having a player sent off, don't you? And you would have worked on that and you've thought through it. But when it happens in the heat of a game, when you've got to make decisions, especially when you've also got to consider that it's not just these 90 minutes, it's the rest of the season as well to take into account. Is that hard? How hard is that in the heat of the battle to get these things clear and in your mind?
Yeah, I think that is the difficult part of management and coaching, is making those decisions really split second. You can plan, you can prepare. But again, being down to 10 men, it really depends on what the state of the game is, whether you are 1-0 up, as Manchester United were last night, or, in different times of the games, and what decisions you have to make. And for me, that's where the real top level managers, we've seen it with Jose Mourinho over the years, he's not afraid to make big decisions and ultimately got them right. We saw Thomas Tuchel earlier in the season with Chelsea against Liverpool, and they managed to get a result with 10 men. So again, that would be, for me, the big question this morning. It's about getting those results right when it really matters and when you have to make those decisions in the heat of the moment.
Eddie, and also as far as the substitutions, in particular Ronaldo, that we've touched on as well, the playing surface. How much of a difference does it make? We're not allowed it in the Premier League, and I do understand in different climates, we've seen it in Scotland as well, haven't we, that actually playing on an artificial pitch is a lot easier in certain climates. But this is the European elite competition. Should there be quite literally a level playing field as far as surface is concerned?
Yeah, I totally understand the climate, and it's easier to maintain a pitch in colder climates. But if you're going to go into European competition, you can't have one team with a 3 or 4G pitch and then next week you're playing on grass. It's not suitable, I don't think, and especially when you've got a 36-year-old and 33-year-olds that they've got a lot of mileage in their legs, in their knees, in their bones and everything, and then going onto a pitch like that, it takes a lot out of their legs. So there again, we're going back to Ole saying about he had to protect his players and he had to look after Ronaldo because he has to maintain him and get him through the season. And there's the difficult decisions that you have to make in an emotional state on the night.
Let's talk about Ronaldo, though, Joby, because he did score a goal, of course. How impressed have you been, and quite literally as well, by the way he's hit the ground running?
Yeah, I don't really want to play it down by saying I expected it. I mean, I don't know what else we did expect with Ronaldo, but there were a few questions raised, again, to do with his age, probably, whether he can still do it at the top level in the Premier League with the intensity of that. We know he can still do it in the Champions League because he has been doing it. But yeah, it's just fantastic to see him back. When they are away, it is harder to keep tabs on them and watch them regularly, and that's what we want to do with the best players in the world. We want to be able to see them week in, week out. So it's fantastic to see him, back at Manchester United, and fantastic to see him start so well. I think he's going to be a real important player for them, not just with the goals and what he brings on the pitch, but everything he brings to the dressing room, to that environment. He is a winner, he's a leader, and I think everyone else will feed off of that, and I think it will spread through the football club.
Joby, he's only 36. That's a spring chicken compared to you last season. I hate to be, I'm not being rude, but, you kept going. And so that age is no barrier, Joby.
Well, no, not when you look at him, certainly physically. That's the first thing that springs to mind. He certainly doesn't look anywhere near 36. And yeah, I was lucky enough to go to 39 at a slightly different level, though. Champions League is certainly a top level. So to be performing as well as he is, to keep himself in the condition that he has, it's a great testament and big credit to him that he has done that. And he's still got that hunger. I think that's the big thing, certainly for me. You have to have something that you want to strive for, that motivates you to keep going late into your 30s. I think that's why this was such a big and important move for him, because he does want to come and he still wants to prove people wrong. I know it sounds crazy, but everything that he's done in the game, but he has that in him, that he still wants to prove that he can come and be the main man at Manchester United and in the Premier League, and he certainly started off like that.
Yeah, so you mentioned those questions when he arrived, and Eddie, I think based on the evidence of the Euros, there are questions over Bruno Fernandes, wasn't there? And whether he could play with Ronaldo. It's certainly been put to bed with last night's performance, is it?
Yeah, I don't see why it was questioned, to be honest with you, because you're looking at Bruno, who can play in the 10 or the 8, and then you got Ronaldo's going to play in the 9, so they can if Ronaldo drops into that 10 position, Bruno can then go further forward into a more advanced position, and they can mix it up to find space and to combine with each other. So they're both extremely intelligent players. They understand each other very well. They play together now for the club and country. So I think the combination is just only going to get stronger. And his assist last night was outstanding. And I think it's going to be a dangerous combination going forward.
Yeah, a quick word on how unfortunate it was for Jesse Lingard, Joby. He's trying his hardest to try and make that impact at Manchester United, comes on and makes that mistake. How does Ole Gunnar Solskjaer keep his head up now?
Well, I'm sure he'll get an arm around him first and foremost. It is one of those things, unfortunately, that is part and parcel of the game, and particularly at that top level, you do get punished when you do make those mistakes. But he's been a real positive impact. Obviously came on and scored the other day, and again, that's the life of a footballer sometimes. He's gone from being probably on cloud nine, potentially leaving, staying and being a part of that and getting on the score sheet, to now making that mistake. But it's about how you react, how you pick yourself up. I'm sure all the rest of the boys in there will be making sure that he gets his head up and continues to make a positive contribution. It's one of those things that can't be helped at times, and I'm sure he'll be feeling very, very down, but he's got to react quickly and make sure he puts it right in the next opportunity that he gets.
Yeah, it's interesting at this level. Explain it to me, Eddie, because I'm sure there's Manchester United fans at home maybe a little bit disappointed with that result, screaming at the telly saying, look, this is young boys, this isn't Juventus, Barcelona, PSG. But actually, when you go to this stage, is that what it is?
Yeah, when you go to this stage, you're playing on a different surface. You're playing away from home. It's different. You lose a player in the middle of the game by getting sent off. You have to change things. Someone makes a mistake in the game. It happens. It happens. So it wasn't an easy game to get through. Everyone it's hard for big clubs like Man United to get through these games because everyone expects them to win. It's a potential banana skin, like everyone says that. And unfortunately, one thing led to another, and they didn't get the result that they expected and wanted. Obviously, when you're playing for a big club and managing a big club, you take the criticism as well as the praise. And Ole knows that everyone's going to be on top of them because they should have won that game in everyone's eyes. If you look at the budget, you look at the size of the clubs and so on and so forth. But this is what happens. You've got to look at young boys. They were well prepared. They worked together. Their team ethic was fantastic. They've got a lot of strength and pace in that side. It is difficult to manage. And once Man United went down to 10 men, it became difficult, really difficult.